So I was present all day on August 15th for the Proud Boys incident, and I will follow up one-on-one following this session, but I wanted to have just kind of a better understanding of who I was going to be speaking with and how this might the process might occur. So thank you very much for hosting us and for that information. It's been helpful already. And I having been there all day and seeing police presence throughout the entire late morning and into the early afternoon, leading up to the scheduled time that the Proud Boys were supposed to be marching through the streets of downtown Kalamazoo. At first, I think a lot of us felt pretty good about how things were going with the police presence. We spoke with, at the time, Assistant Police Chief Coakley was present. Mayor David Anderson was there and helping me pick up trash at one point. And so things were going pretty smoothly. But, to much of our shock, dismay, and now horror and frustration, the Proud Boys showed up 15 minutes early and really seemed to throw everything off. And so from the moment that, even 15 minutes early, all of the police presence that had been there throughout the entire morning and early afternoon was gone. I mean, the police cars that had been parked on, Burdick, that had been parked on Burdick were no longer there. The other, cop cars that had been just parked on all four sides of this park. It's a square park in downtown. They just disappeared. And as soon as the violence started, from the moment that the Proud Boys reached some of those first houseless community members, all I remember is so many people, not all I remember, but one of the main things I remember is just everyone asking, where did the police go? Where are the police? And as somebody who had a bullhorn and was out front trying to keep those of us that were there attending a peaceful vigil for victims of domestic terrorism, it just got out of hand so fast. And 7.5 minutes or maybe, it felt like forever, but I know it was several minutes of violence like that erupting in the streets was a very long time. And, I can't even drive down those streets without having flashbacks of being, maced with bear mace by Proud Boys. And then the follow-up article, released, statement upon reviewing some of the materials provided to them. KDPS claimed that counter protesters started the violence with a styrofoam cup, and that Proud Boy member was justified in his use of bear mace on dozens of Kalamazoo residents, followed by additional tear gassing or pepper spraying by KDPS just around the corner. And so this has been one of the most incredible moments that I think I hope I personally experienced in my whole life. And, sir, you were spot on when you opened and your statement and said that the events that happened on January 6th were probably reminiscent of what happened here in Kalamazoo, and it very much was. And it is something that I've discussed with many other people since Wednesday, just how eerily familiar all of those sights and sounds were of police just seemingly not being present. And so, I just wanted to take a moment and to speak up and say there were so many moments all the way through until, the information that came out just a few weeks ago after a FOIA request was, followed through with, that I believe an MLive journalist, Brad Devereaux, perhaps, found out that Carrie Ann Thomas didn't resign, she was fired. And so right up until a few weeks ago, we have just been misled, misinformed, lied to, manipulated, told that we didn't see what we saw, and just gaslighted at every opportunity by some of the leaders here in Kalamazoo. And it's disappointing because I believe in Kalamazoo and what we can do here, but these continued egregious mistakes are just at every turn losing the trust and respect of community members. And so I really hope that on the other side of this is something really productive and allows for some healing to actually begin here in Kalamazoo, and for people to be held accountable. I think, is another thing that would be a really big first step in making sure that going forward, we really do feel that we can trust the public Department of Safety and how they will actually serve and protect Kalamazoo residents rather than serve and protect domestic terror.